Hey, little rebels, welcome back to Rodiculous. I just got in last night from the plane. We were traveling, we were on a fundraising trip, raising money for people who have been affected by the LA fires. They were pretty tough this year, and it was just an amazing trip. It was with Drew Brees' charity. But for this episode, it's just going to be me. It's cozy. We're sitting in the chairs today, drinking tea, and I'm hanging out with the dogs. So for everyone listening to this podcast, if you hear snoring, it's just my bulldogs. I just really wanted to talk about some things that have been going on. I think it's important to start with this. I believe Tana when she said that a guy said something inappropriate to her on set, like he sexually harassed her on the set of Escape the Night. When she told me on set, I fully had her back and I said, I'm so sorry that happened to you and you should tell Joey. What he said to Tana was wrong, and him waiting until she was alone to say it is very telling that he knew that what he was doing was wrong. I'm proud of Tana for speaking up. She told me, she told Joey later that day on set. Like, no one deserves to be treated like that, especially on set. Everyone deserves to feel safe in a working environment. I fully support her for calling out his disgusting behavior. On my previous podcast, I said that I continue to choose to support her, even though she's mocked me. Unfortunately, I know firsthand how scary it can be to be sexually harassed on set. I've been in those positions, and I'm sorry that if my criticism about other things that Tana said overshadowed that fact. Like, I should have done a better job of being clear of keeping those two things apart. Like, me criticizing and fact checking the other things that she was saying on the podcast was in no way intended to claim that she was lying about being sexually harassed. The reason that I spoke out about this is because I felt Tana was associating many innocent people with the very harmful actions of one individual. Her claims that the entire crew were like old, creepy men is just harmful because the crew was a mix of men and women whose livelihoods depend on their reputation. And Tana is in a position of privilege. And to use that privilege to spread lies about hardworking people just to make her podcast more interesting comes off as very problematic to me. For example, what she said about the wardrobe team. She was saying that they made her wear this outfit. They put her in this slutty outfit.
Of course, I'm dressed like a slut. I feel like this is always happening to me, where someone has me dressed like a slut and it's fucking wintertime.
And that was just not what happened. They were really nice people. They provided multiple options. Joey gave us full free range to wear whatever we wanted. We could even bring outfits from home. And the wardrobe department provided her with 5 different outfit options, and she got to choose which one was her favorite. So by slandering and saying they forced her to wear this, well, they don't have a big platform to speak up for themselves. When this movie comes out and the credits roll, their names are public, and people are going to associate them with doing things that they didn't do, and that's not fair to them. That's Tana making up stories that could negatively impact their livelihood. Like, it's risking the potential of those people not getting hired in the future, and that is not okay. Some people listening didn't understand why I was so passionate about this, and it's because I know some of the crew personally, and they don't deserve to be lumped in like that. Words matter, and they have an effect on people, their reputations and their livelihoods. I really want to emphasize that both of these things can be true. I think that it's wrong what happened to Tana. What that actor said and did to Tana is not okay. And I also think Tana slandering the entire crew and making up lies about them is not okay. The point I was trying to make in the last podcast are both things are not okay. Trish even said that she's never seen me like this before, and that is because I'm really hurt. This, what I'm about to talk about right now, is a separate issue. It has nothing to do with Escape the Night or being on set. Canceled podcast, Tana talks so negatively about how I honored my dad that it triggered me. I still deeply feel the loss of my dad, and for her and Brooke and Paige to put it out there that it was illegal, insinuating that I'm a criminal and that I was a cannibal, completely devastated me. Like, I thought Tana and I were friends. We've known each other for so many years. We've worked on projects together. I message her. I have looked to her for advice. Like, I literally invited her to my nephew's birthday. Like, I have just never been through something like that. And I don't think that I have ever felt this upset. Like, I snapped. I'm going to pause right here and just play some of the clips of her mocking me, calling me a cannibal, and reducing me to nothing more than a YouTuber who smoked her dead dad.
Like at 9:30 in the morning, I'm standing there like fully ready, like in a fucking gown. And I'm having a YouTuber tell me that their parent just passed away and they turned their ashes into marijuana and then they smoked their parent. And I'm like, it's 9:30 in the morning and I'm downtown and this YouTuber is telling me about how they smoked their dead parent. And
is that against the law?
That's like cannibalism.
I don't know, dude.
Way, shape, or form.
And I'm just like, geez Louise, what did I rope myself into, right? What do you mean I'm being chained to the ceiling in a meat freezer in a gown right now at 9 a.m. downtown and this YouTuber just smoked their dead parent? What do you mean? Okay.
It's hard for me to talk about this. I'm just extremely still sensitive about this. But for me, it crossed a line. That's my dad. When you're vulnerable and you open up and you share intimate details about your life with the public, like, you expect random people to be judgmental, but not your friends. It may not be something that they would do, but I wouldn't expect them to be mean or mock me. They were laughing at me and calling me a cannibal. A cannibal? I honestly don't understand why Tana didn't just talk to me, like, if I was annoying her, instead of blasting it on the internet on multiple podcasts. She didn't just go on one podcast. She went on multiple podcasts and mocked me over and over and over again for views. She may not understand this, but people have been harassing me since I uploaded the first episode of my podcast. Just to give you guys an understanding of some of the judgmental comments that I have been receiving for months, I'm just going to play a clip right here. It's of these three guys. They have a podcast where they usually just talk about sports, but they took a break from talking about sports to shit all over me and say some of the meanest, judgmental, and just, it's beyond cruel. Like, some of the things that they said is like, my dad deserved to die and shit like that. Like, it's just like straight up evil.
To me, that's a little bit over the top. Why wouldn't you just like roll one up and smoke it in his honor, I guess?
I mean, one, you're growing weed at your house, so I hope the authorities have berated that studio and got taken care of that. Yeah, you deserve to go to jail. This is a jail time thing for me.
Really?
Your jail time are 6 months under supervision of some authority. I just don't know how we got here. I just don't. At what point does it come to your head? You know what? When I die,
Smoke me.
smoke me. Daughter, smoke me.
That guy was a cult leader. 100%.
Yeah,
he was
some
a
people
cult
are better
leader.
off dead. I mean, it's just the truth. It might hurt some feelings, but they just are.
Well, I mean, I just think his dying wish was terrible. I don't know if he did,
Well,
I wouldn't say
think
that.
Well,
I think that's a
I
little
mean,
bit
if
too far,
that's your dying
in my
wish,
opinion.
how great was your? What,
I don't know.
I mean, they spread information and said what I did was illegal. It's not. They said my dad was a cult leader for doing this. They said he deserved to die. I understand that this is not a clip from Tana, but it's three friends, like her three friends sitting around, and they're saying something that's in the realm of these hateful people. It's even within the realm. Like, they're saying it's illegal. They're insinuating I'm a criminal for it. They're saying I'm a cannibal. Like, the judgmental tone of that video, it broke my fucking heart. And I think I just snapped and I just saw red. And I think Tana hit below the belt. Like, you do not mock your friend's dead dad. That is hurtful and that is mean. It's fucked up. I shouldn't have anything to do with the Escape the Night story. She threw me in there as she was talking about her negative experiences on set, and I was a part of the negative experiences. Sorry, my dog is trying to find a seat. She's scratching around in her seat. This is why you have dogs. Sometimes they'll just like do silly things and they'll make you laugh and like they'll turn a sad day into a good one. It's been a weird week and I just want to say thank you because I've seen thousands of comments on T channels that have been supportive of me and understanding of why I feel the way that I do. Even people who don't agree with everything that I say, they at least are being supportive and understanding of why I feel the way that I feel. Like, they get it. And I just want to say thank you because this just sucks. People are like, well, you made a video to talk about her. Yes, in response, because she did it first. A lot of Tana's followers who just follow her blindly through everything that she does, they were saying, well, Tana wasn't mocking you. She didn't use you by name. What other famous YouTuber has done what I did? It's a very unique thing. It's not hard to figure out. You know the tone. You can see right through it. I'm not the only person who thought that this was messed up. There was other commentary channels who noticed it, clocked it, and said something. I'm going to play a clip right here of one of them.
I don't think Rosanna deserves the slander, okay? She was just trying to make some conversation.
Like, it's 9:30 in the morning and I'm downtown and this YouTuber is telling me about how they smoked their dead parent.
Is
And
that against the law?
That's like cannibalism.
I don't know,
Okay.
Jude.
Wait,
Stop.
okay.
And I'm just
Okay, all of you stop it.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
not a
leave
thing.
Rosanna Panzino alone. It was a touching, like, it was a sweet gesture that she was.
Cannibalism? Do you know
Yeah.
what cannibalism is?
No, like, ask Armenia.
And
I just wanted to explain a little bit of why that made me feel so upset, and I hope you guys have a better understanding of that. And I totally get that not everyone will understand. I actually agree with Trish. I just saw on her latest video that she posted that I don't want to make drama videos going back and forth and back and forth. Like, I reached out privately to Trish and apologized for anything that I said that upset her. I told her in my message that I thought she agreed with Tana about being illegal and a cannibal, and I thought they were sitting together and laughing and making fun of me on her podcast.
I walk in and I love, but it's 9 a.m. downtown LA and I haven't slept for an hour. And she's telling me about how she just, and I podcast about this. And then all the comments are like, she's talking about, never do that. She's lying. And I'm like, why? Where do you people get off thinking that I would make that up?
I have a text that says that. She texted me that's what she was doing. Yeah.
But after hearing Trish's response, I believe her. I believe that she wasn't judging me or making fun of me. I'm not upset with Trish. I am upset with Tana. I also told Trish that I was sorry to hear about what happened to her downtown LA because I didn't know that information. She shared her deeper feelings about it, and then I shared my deeper feelings with her. I expressed to her that I grew up in a very poor area with a very high crime rate. And this is something that's sensitive to me too, because I was constantly talked down to and treated very poorly for much of my life because of it. So to hear people like Tana talk down about the people who live downtown, as in the rickets of LA, it just brought back a lot of hurt.
You walk in and the production company is all men from like the rickets of Los Angeles.
Tana was talking about them like they were less than. She was saying like, ew, gross, I have to work with people that are from the rickets of LA.
Like, and it was just like very creepy. Like I just, the vibes with every interaction I had with every single person.
A lot of people don't understand where I grew up and how I grew up because it's honestly something that I don't really want to think about. I've worked really hard to get to the place I am now in life, and I feel more comfortable opening up about my past. I have many stories about that, but a story that really hurts my heart is one time my sister and I were hanging out with some new friends, and someone asked my sister where she was from, and she answered them, and they went, ugh, turned around, turned their back to her, and just walked away. And that's how we were treated because of where we were born. My family didn't have a lot of money growing up. I grew up with Molly 2 blocks from the projects. If you walked out the front door of my house, my neighbor 2 houses down ran a chop shop. My neighbor 3 houses down on the corner were 2 neighborhood boys that we grew up with who one of them got involved in a gang and they were violently killed in the street. My other neighbor raised dogs, Rottweilers, to fight them, and one of them got loose. And when I got off the school bus in like elementary school with one of my friends, we were walking home from school, and one of the Rottweilers attacked her in our front yard. Blood everywhere. My dad had to run out and break it up, and the amount of violence and just shit that I've seen at such a young age and for such a long time. They had meth labs blowing up all the time. My high school even got shut down multiple times. Like we had a drill for when a meth lab would blow up down the street and we had to cancel sports practice because too many chemicals of drugs were in the air. Like this was a common thing at my school. One time at a friend's party, there was a drive-by in the house that I was in. But even though those communities have a lot of issues, they have a lot of good people. To hear someone in a privileged position dehumanize people from those communities, like where I grew up, it triggers me. Because it's not right. I've thought about it a lot, and I do understand that Tana or Trish may not want to go to a less than safe area. The thing that I'm not okay with is dehumanizing people who live there. Saying, I hate working on sets where the people, you know that they came from the rickets of LA, because that is not fair to people. There are so many good people that lived in my community and many other impoverished areas. That is not okay. Check your privilege. I'll end the podcast soon. This has gone on for a while, but I did watch Trish's response to everything, and I could tell that she was really upset about the situation. And as I mentioned before, I wrote her a private apology because I really do care about her as a friend. My whole family genuinely loves her family, and I really hope that we can fix things. Also, watching the response, I love Moses. I really love Moses. I do disagree with some of what he said, like saying that Tana's stories are entertaining and not serious, just because when she's talking about something so serious like sexual harassment and then all the other things around it are exaggeration and lies, I think it just gets really messy, like messy's the water. And I think that it's fine to be entertaining and embellish things if you're telling a story maybe about like a Thanksgiving dinner with your friends, something more lighthearted, or you're out at dinner or out at a nightclub, or, you know, those things are very harmless. But when you're talking about sexual harassment on your friend's production set and you're slandering the rest of the crew, which can get them fired, they can lose their jobs, their livelihoods, like that's how they feed their family. I think that there does need to be some separation between lies and exaggerating and embellishment and having a serious conversation about a serious topic and a serious issue. That was the point I was trying to make in my first video, and I definitely missed the mark. I'm just going to reiterate it again. When Tana told me what happened to her on set, I believed her. I even said that in my original video, that I'm choosing to believe her, even though she said terrible things about me. Even though she's out there mocking my dead dad, I am still choosing to believe her. I am very much compartmentalizing these things, and I'm doing my best to do so. Quote Tana, 2 things can be true. I believe something terrible happened to Tana. I also know that she slandered an entire crew who were innocent. The last thing that I'm going to say before we end the podcast today is this is just a note to Oscar. I just want to thank him for bringing something to my attention. This is about a tweet that I accidentally hearted. I saw a clip of him talking about this, but he said that I had hearted a shady comment, and I just wanted to thank him for bringing that to my attention, because as soon as I saw that and I read through it, then I unhearted it, because that was an honest mistake. When the video came out, we were traveling back to the States. We were going between planes. I had not slept in a day. I am dyslexic, and when the video came out, there was comments coming in and forth, and I was literally in between flights hearting what I thought were supportive comments. And in this instance, I made a mistake. So then when I saw that, I was like, oh no, that's not what I meant. So Oscar, I just want to let you know, I own that mistake. It was an honest mistake. I skimmed it. I learned a lesson there, and it's one I'm never going to forget. I'm not going to be hearting things when I'm traveling and running from gate to gate on no sleep. Like, that is just not a good idea. And I fat fingered a lot of things at the airport that day. I actually started following a bunch of my haters because I misclicked. I meant to mute them or block them, and I accidentally ended up following a bunch of them. So for those haters who I'm now following, yeah, that's why. Honestly, my team does a lot of my social media, and when I do it, it's usually a disaster. Another thing that I want to say is that I do agree with a lot of people saying that we should work on our relationship in private. I have a really large Italian family, and we get into fights and disagreements sometimes, which is challenging, but I am not one to throw away a relationship over a disagreement or a miscommunication. Like Trish said, we are closer friends off camera than we are on camera. We hang out more privately because our friendship is not focused on business or views. That's not what I care about. I hope that she knows that if she needed anything, even right now, I would be there in a heartbeat. I also keep it real with my friends. Like, if I'm with a friend at a restaurant and they're having a bad day and they snap at a waitress, I'm that girl who's gonna tell them, like, hey, that's not cool, knock it off, and you need to apologize. And I'm also that friend to give them a big hug and show compassion because I can see that they're going through something. I don't hate people for making mistakes. I love my friends, but I don't allow them to mistreat people. And that's on all sides. Like Trish in her response video asked, why do I need to insert myself? I spoke up about Tana slandering innocent crew members, just like I would stand up against a friend punching down at a waitress. Like, I'm going to stand up for someone punching down on innocent crew members. I'm not going to stand for it. Two wrongs don't make a right. It was wrong what happened to Tana on that set. It was also wrong for her to slander innocent members of that crew. And it hurts me to see Trish upset. I hate that. Like in her response when she started talking about Colleen, she knows that I did not know about Colleen's behavior in any way or participate. The shit she was doing pissed me off. Colleen hid that from me because I am the friend who would say something and say that that's fucked up. Colleen lied to me by keeping her true character very private. This whole thing sucks, and I really want Trish to know that I had no idea about her history with downtown LA. I just reacted to what I saw, how they were talking about downtown LA. I just call it like I see it. I had no idea about her bad experiences and what she went through. If I would have known that, then I wouldn't have thought that was a snotty comment. And that's the only mean thing I said about Trish. I thought the comment was snotty. And now I know that that's not really her experience and her situation. I totally understand. I want people to know that I am proud of Trish and for her growth, and that she's also never seen my angry side, because 90% of the time I am a very happy person, but I'm also human. You know, I experience other emotions, sadness, frustration, anger. And I think that that's the first time that she's ever seen me angry, and I think it kind of knocked her off guard. Like, I've seen her angry in many videos, many of times, and I understand it. Those are human moments. Those are human emotions and reactions. It happens. I just really hope that she can understand that I genuinely care about her, and I really want to work it out and fix things. And I agree with her. I don't want to go back and forth making these videos. I just think that this is stupid. And I also want to clarify that if anyone is talking about me on their channel, I have a right to speak up and express my feelings. Trish, I really want to get together and have a heart-to-heart and communicate our boundaries so that this never happens in the future, never happens again. We do have a genuine friendship, and I think it's worth it.